Hi there, it's Skyward Shield. Welcome to Football Talks. I am joined by Bill. Say hello, Bill.
Hey, hey!
Well, week two is in the books. Again, another little mixed feelings. But for Bill, it's all but angry. We'll get to that soon enough. Anyway, all the games occurred at 12 my time, so we can go about this in any order we so damn please. And we will start with the biggest one, New England, because it seems the NFL this year, I swear, injuries are getting worse and worse for teams.
Right.
Like last year, you had the Ravens and the Chargers as the biggest victims of injury bugs. I mean, this year it's looking like the Vikings, so I guess another purple-colored team needs to take the blame or take the fault for this.
Right.
But I mean that's for later. But the Patriots now they lost Jimmy G because of it's not because of Ndamukong Suh surprisingly, but the Miami Dolphins defense is nothing but brutal hits
Right.
because that's all they can do in hopes of having a chance at winning games because really their defense is the only real I wouldn't say consistently good thing, but the one that can keep them in a game, if you ask me. But to be fair,
Right.
the first half of the game, Jimmy Garoppolo was just destroying them, 21 to nothing. I thought it was
Right.
going to be a shutout until he got hurt. They say it was a
It's
clean hit. I don't think so because he was trying to go down. I mean, I know they try to protect quarterbacks more, but I think they should try to protect some running quarterbacks a little bit. I mean, if that were Aaron Rodgers during a run like that, I guarantee you they would have flagged that.
oh yeah, that would have been an insta flag because because it's Jimmy Garoppolo, a second stringer for the New England Patriots. Who
Yeah, so the
cares?
rookie Jacoby Brissett had to finish the game. But other than that, the Patriots were able to hold it off. But I tell you this, I think this is the best Patriots defense, even better than last year's.
Oh yeah,
And that's
I
because
would.
they're still missing some players. Rob Ninkovich is on a suspension/injury, and on offense they feel great. LeGarrette Blunt, it's like he found I think he found a fountain of youth and went back 2 years ago when they won the Super
Right.
Bowl because
Yeah.
he mowed down the dirty Dolphins defense.
Yeah, I mean, the Dolphins' defense is built to play the Patriots, and they still couldn't play the Patriots at all well in the first half.
Yeah,
That whole first half was Jimmy Garoppolo just picking them apart all over
which
the
to
field.
Patriots fans, to me this is like a transition from Tim Duncan to Kawhi Leonard. It's not the end of a dynasty, but rather the start of a new generation of that dynasty. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Oh yeah, I can definitely agree with that sentiment
You hear that,
because
Warriors bandwagonist fans? You cannot count them out. You can't guarantee give them a trophy instantly just because they made some plays or made some moves. They weren't the only team that signed major players. I mean, honestly, I think it's going to be a three-way race in basketball between the Spurs, the Warriors, and the Mavericks for the West. Because the Mavericks now, usually the Spurs would just trample them most of the time. Maybe the Mavs would steal the game,
right.
but now it's looking like Dallas could be a top four West Coast team. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean the East, it still belongs to whatever team LeBron James is on until someone else can say no, not anymore. Which,
My
Bill, for your
Pistons
sake,
are
I'm hoping your Pistons are the ones that say that.
My Pistons are game built nice. I like where they're going. They're young, they're talented.
Well, I'm
They
pretty sure
remind
they're
me
the
of
Oakland Raiders of basketball this coming season.
I mean the Pistons are always the bad boys of basketball,
Yeah,
even when we're not good.
yeah. But anyway, so back to this. I'm pretty sure Garoppolo is well on pace as long as he doesn't keep getting hurt. If they keep up, I don't care how good he is. They're not gonna keep him for too long.
I mean, and the other thing with Jimmy Garoppolo is New England's not going to confirm or deny if he's going to play or not until an hour before the game.
But we
So
both know he's not coming back because he was in a lot of pain. Not as much pain as Josh McCown was with the Browns, but yeah, I just think that 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 he's going to be gone for a couple weeks. I don't. It wasn't anything too severe, but it was just very painful. But it doesn't matter. They've won 2 games. They could bomb these next 2 games, and they'll be just fine. They're still in good shape. Because not only are you getting Tom Brady back, but you're going to get Rob Ninkovich back, and if you don't get Gronk by Thursday, you're getting him by week 4, which he's a game plan wrecker, so he's good.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, Bill, I wish J.J. Watt could cover, so I would see him try to cover Gronkowski.
Yeah.
Because they have such similar body types and play styles.
I mean, they're both freaks of their position, and
yeah, I want them to fight to the death.
It'd be very interesting to see, but I honestly don't believe that Gronk is going to be there for that game. All signs are pointing towards week 4. You know,
yeah, which is fine by me.
You know, and I mean, you know, who knows where that goes? But you know, the thing about the Patriots against that Miami game, though, and the thing is even when they got to their third string quarterback after the injury, Jacoby Brissett, kind of held the ship steady. It didn't capsize. It stayed steady.
I think he went 6-9 for 85 yards.
Yeah,
but they mostly ran the ball.
Yeah, they didn't capsize the ship, and LeGarrette Blount, and they have 3 running backs. It's a 3 running back approach, so they can always rotate fresh bodies in at that position. So there's also
this. They might have to sign a veteran quarterback for this game.
Very possible. Very possible.
There's not much options. The only ones that are familiar with them are already signed with other teams like Brian Hoyer, and it's not worth trading for just 2 games.
They could always get Tim Tebow, right?
Oh, like hell, that's happening.
Oh,
I can't get over that article I saw, the title, where it's like shut up, world. The Mets signing Tim Tebow was a good choice. Of course, and guess what? Guess what the source of that was? New York journalist site.
Oh yeah.
Of course you get to say that.
Of course.
I mean, if you could sign a bad player to any team, and the media correspondents, like the beat writers for that team, are gonna say it's a good move because they have to. I mean, they could disagree with some things if they can't be outright against and say, "God, I hate this signing. What's wrong with this team?" Yeah, you're not gonna have a job anymore if you do that.
Right. Oh, jeez.
But anyway, there's not much to say about the Patriots aside from that. Just Jimmy Garoppolo's hurt, which is unfortunate, but it's fine. Like I said, they got the 2 wins already. That's fine. The goal to me was 2, for them to be okay in an okay state.
Right, exactly. I mean,
and
they got there, and anything above this is really icing on the cake.
Yep, and I mean, they get these next 2 games are also at home. They have Houston, and then they have Buffalo, which Buffalo... Oh, boy. Bill, can we... I can name 3 coaches at this point who might lose their jobs by their bye week. Do you want me to list you all 3 of them?
Rex Ryan is obviously one.
Yeah, it's your freebie. What are the other 2 that I'm thinking of? I mentioned one of them before last week.
No idea.
Chuck Pagano.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I've been saying Chuck Pagano will be kicked by his bye week, which is about the same time as Houston's. And the last one, Jeff Fisher.
Ooh.
I mean, I want to pick the Saints one, but I just don't think that the owners have it in them to ever fire Sean Payton.
I mean, it could happen, but I'm not.
No,
sure
I'm not. I don't think by the bye week. I don't think they'll
Oh
do it
yeah,
by the bye week.
maybe at the end of the year. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been there for 10 plus years. I mean, they won their Super Bowl. They haven't been relevant for a while.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think we can move on to this game, Bill, the one you've been wanting to
Oh,
talk about. The
oh,
Tytoons. I can't believe they had it in them. I mean,
they,
they won, but it was ugly, and I think they know if things didn't go the way they did, they should have lost. So if Mike Villarkey's smart, he's not going to let them take this to heart. I mean, well, any coach shouldn't let them stay focused on a victory for too long.
I mean, the Tennessee referees did do a good job. I mean, uh,
Referees? You mean the coaches?
no, the Tennessee referees. That's my nickname for the team that beat the Lions in that game. Was the Tennessee referees, because literally it was the referees playing the game against the Lions, not the actual Titans. Because literally the Titans didn't beat the Lions, the referees beat the Lions. I mean, and I'm going to go off because I'm a Detroit guy and I'm a Lions fan, and it was an absolute embarrassing football game to watch. Anyone that's an NFL fan that actually had to sit in those stands in Detroit and watch that garbage be played on the field deserves $80 for their seat back from the NFL. The NFL literally hires the worst referees possible. This crew throws more flags than any other crew in the NFL, and it's embarrassing. It is embarrassingly how bad that game was called. That game was called like a blind person was just picking players at random and just be, oh, he did this and he did that. And sure, there was some penalties that the Lions deserve. But when you miss a call in the end zone costing the Lions a touchdown, and then you call 3 penalties after that and third and goal from the 30-yard line, there's something wrong with that. And then the Tennessee offense, who seemingly could do no wrong because they were God, they get to drive down the field anytime they wanted. But the minute the Lions offense came on the field, oh, there's holding. Oh, there's Eric Ebron getting a phantom call. Oh, that running play that got us 20 yards, that's coming back. It was embarrassing. And the NFL owes every single Detroit Lions fan that was in the stadium that day $80 to $120 because we got shafted of a football game by the referees.
Yeah.
Next point.
Also, the Lions are now very injury-ridden.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just like how the Colts have lost all their secondary, including the players they just signed, which now they got to sign more. They've also lost. The Lions have now lost almost all their linebackers.
Right. Before I get to the linebackers, though, I want to just say something about the CBS call of that game. If CBS knows what's good for it, it will never host another Lions game ever again on their air.
Oh, they're gonna show they're gonna show the Thanksgiving one. They always do.
Right. My issue with CBS and that call was both announcers were very biased towards the Tennessee Titans. I don't want to listen to a game as a Detroit Lions fan and have to listen to, oh, Tennessee's got a touchdown. Yeah, Tennessee got a touchdown. Congratulations. That's the only one they're going to score in 3 weeks. Good job. Yeah. All right. So, Steve Tasker and Steve Berline had the worst call. They were very biased to the Tennessee Titans. I know this is not going to sound like I'm a salty Lions fan, and sure, I'm a little salty at how my team played because they played like garbage, but listening to very biased biased CBS call, while you're furious at the refs, kind of puts you in a really bad mood. And if CBS knows what's good for it, I literally in the middle of the game muted my TV because it was that bad of a call. I literally muted the TV and watched the game mute without listening to the call. It was that bad from a Detroit perspective. If you want to call games, you call games down the middle. You don't pick a side and stick with that side. All right, now getting to the game. The Detroit Lions defense played amazingly well against the Titans, despite what they had to deal with.
The first half they dominated them, but injuries
Exactly.
kept coming. Like Ziggy Ansah's
Exactly.
hurt.
Yep.
On the offensive side, Amir Abdullah and Eric Ebron are hurt. I don't think they were that severe, but I am worried that they are, well, more worried for Abdullah because Abdullah was getting better and I don't want him to get hurt now.
Right. I mean, the injuries played a factor in the second half collapse, and that was part of the undoing of Detroit. I mean, but my play of the game is Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford trucking a linebacker with his shoulder, knocking him down. I mean, literally, that was the play of the game. My other play of the game is when, Matthew Stafford has a guy crawling at his legs and nailing him in the lower leg and not getting a flag call, even though, that's a flag for any other quarterback in the NFL, and these blind pieces of garbage refs can't call anything because they're biased and just wanted the garbage team to win, and that's what happened. The garbage team won. But the play of the game was both Stafford trucking the linebacker, and is when Stafford gets up and starts screaming at the referee right in his stupid-looking face.
Good.
That referee should be fined and suspended. He's an embarrassment to the NFL. Roger Goodell, you're an embarrassment for allowing these embarrassing refs to continuously work in the NFL, and they should be fired or fined and suspended for the rest of the year. So there we go. That's my take on the Lions game. I'm a little ticked off, if you can't tell.
Yeah. So I mean, the only other thing I gotta say is Anquan Bolden looks pretty good as a slot receiver now.
Oh yeah.
If he plays that way, he could probably just re-sign with the Lions for another year.
Oh yeah.
But I still
I'd
like
to keep
this
Anquan.
Lions offense, high octane. But come on, I need Caldwell to just get stricter on so because some of these flags, it would be better if you could prevent them from happening. Like if I could give a suggestion, like
There was no-
if they could get somebody to watch like when they practice, if someone does a hold and they spot it, they should make that player like do 10 push-ups because for every yard they get held back, they should do push-ups because it'll encourage them not to do it again. And hell, if you do get caught with the flag in a game, when you go to practice, say, hey, I remember you got a holding call in the last game. Win or lose, like I'm gonna make you do 10 push-ups in front of the team.
Here's the issue with that. In this game, it wouldn't have made a difference. They were going to call us for everything, no matter.
No, I know,
if
but there are
fault
still
or
some
not.
that they shouldn't have done.
Right. There's some that shouldn't have done, and that is totally, you need to work on it. But you cannot tell me 18 penalties that 6 or 7.
I know there were some
absolute
plays where
garbage.
even the announcers was like, this is questionable.
Yeah, it was both teams. It's embarrassing to Tennessee fans to watch that game.
Oh, I don't
They
think they
weren't
care. I mean, a win makes everything better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was hard to watch on television. Literally, the referee's face was on television more than the players playing the game. No one watches the NFL. Well, this National Football League broadcast brought to you by Budweiser for this stupid referee's face. That's just flat out not why you're watching the game. You're watching the game for the players to play the game. And Tennessee fans are watching DeMarco Murray, Marcus Mariota, not some stupid referee's face.
Yeah. Anyway, Bill, I think I'm ready to move on to another game.
Oh yeah.
Let's move on to Dallas. How about them Cowboys actually fucking winning a game? Albeit under bad circumstances. Maybe I should have picked Dallas for this one, but I will say this. Ezekiel Elliott still has a long way to go. I mean, there was a point where he made a good run, but he fumbled the ball twice. Josh Norman, people giving him shit. I think they just want a player to scapegoat because he made a good point. If my coach tells me to go on another side, I will do what he says.
Right.
And now I ask the NFL media. I can't believe I'm defending a Washington player. What do you say to that? Do you say, oh, he has a fair point and agree with him? It's like, yes, you should do what your coach tells you. You should not stray from the plan, the game plan for that play, or else you could cost the first down, worst case scenario, or a touchdown.
Right.
Because you weren't in the proper position, like you weren't covering a guy, so he's wide open for a touchdown. Or are you going to disagree and tell him, yeah, you should still cover the number one player because we think you should? The NFL media is just these pundits. I mean, to us to an extent, but when I was hearing that, oh, why wasn't he covering Antonio Brown? I don't care about that. Do you think we care about that? It's like, stop that. There are other pressing matters that you could discuss. But just instead of, oh, how come this defensive scheme is not the way we like it to be? That's too bad. Oh well, but anyway. So as for Dallas, Ezekiel Elliott, his run game, I mean, he did make some good runs. I think he made a 21-yard run at one point, but again, he needed a big hole for that. And then you see Alfred Morris go for a touchdown, an easy touchdown with a smaller hole. Because, I mean, it's not like Ezekiel Elliott's a big running back, almost fullback sized. If he's so good, because this is the thing, a running back could just come into the NFL and just dominate. No way, Jose. I mean, what was the one that did that last time? Earl Campbell from so long ago?
Adrian Peterson.
Well, do you see how hard that is to do? How many years ago was that? When did Adrian Peterson join the league?
At least 9 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe 8.
What about the person before that? I'm pretty sure it was Earl Campbell or Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders is another one that came in and immediately made a contribution, and I would say Earl Campbell and...
Oh, wait, no, there is one player who immediately lit it up. Last year, Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
But that was it. Now, the poor Rams, for their problem is Todd Gurley's all you have. They're a one-trick pony. Ha! I said run-trick pony, but I don't see anything wrong with that mistake. I think that's accurate.
It's a very accurate one.
But yeah, if they have one good thing, like if you're playing the Patriots, it's so easy for them. It's like, this is all they have? Okay, let's just stack the box against the run. That's all we need to do, and we've got this. Right. Speaking of, the Rams do have to play the Patriots. I think at Foxborough. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Yay, yay,
yay. Fun fact, the Rams have to do so much travel that I think they could go, with the amount of miles they travel, they can actually go around the world a couple of times. If you just made them go in a straight line with that mileage. It's pretty bad. Jeez. I mean, they got to go to London. This is counting 2 in return trips, by the way.
Oh, damn.
Remember, they got to go from L.A. all the way to London. All the way to London, and then back.
That's a flight, man.
I don't like it. But anyway, with these Cowboys, their run game is okay, but they still can't finish drives that easily. Look, the 2 touchdowns they got was Alfred Morris, who I wish he was the main guy. I think he might be taking that title away if Ezekiel Elliott doesn't show more promise. But honestly, if he just needs to make a 10-yard run and he's like, oh yeah, that's our starter, that's our first-round pick, who we had so much faith in, he's so great, just one 10-yard run, that's all we need. Like, Alfred Morris could score every touchdown from here on out. I mean rushing
I mean,
touchdowns, by the way. He could score
right.
every rushing touchdown, and they're still going to make Ezekiel Elliott the number one guy.
Oh yeah. I mean, Alfred Morris is a very underrated back for the Cowboys.
Yeah, and honestly, I think he's better at this point in time. Maybe Ezekiel Elliott could become number one, like people were hyping him up to be. But
He's not
since he's
number one
not
this
showing it, he's not showing it. So I would run the back that's showing better results.
Yeah, I totally agree. I
And
mean,
they still have
see,
that other flaw, the big flaw that we mentioned last week. Not defense. I'm not talking defense at all this time. They can't finish drives in terms of passing touchdowns.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
The other touchdown they got was by Dak Prescott running it in himself.
Right.
His first touchdown was one he made himself. They can't finish in the end zone. This has been Dallas's problem for years, with or without Romo. You don't know how many games that they had. Oh, look at this first drive. Their first drive, they go all the way to the end zone, ends in a field goal.
Yep. I
It
mean,
is very rare that they get a touchdown in the first drive, or even in just a regular drive that they get a touchdown in.
and part of that issue is that when the field gets really short, really Des Bryant becomes a neutral factor because he might be tall, but he can't get into space. There's not a lot of space for Des to get into. Whereas, the smaller receivers,
I think it's just how he is as a player.
Yeah, and that might also be it too. But I mean, like smaller guys like Cole Beasley, those sort of guys, Terrence Newman.
Cole Beasley is probably okay. We're gonna talk about Houston later, but I think Brock Osweiler has more chemistry with Will Fuller. But in Dak Prescott's case, I think Beasley is his main guy. It's his go-to target. It's his Jason Witten.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, literally, Cole Beasley he's like the Wes Welker to the Patriots from years ago. Wes Welker.
Oh,
when Randy Moss was
that
there.
reminds me. You ever hear about the guy with the fake Brady mask?
Oh yeah, yep.
It was Wes Welker. I wish he kept that a secret. Why'd they make him take the mask off? He should have took it off at week 4. It would have been the perfect time.
I think he did that on purpose to surprise a few fans.
Yeah, but I really wish. Look, it looked like he was gonna go to every game because it was him. Even in the week before the Cardinals game, he was there too.
Yep.
So I'm thinking, why didn't he just wait till week 4? The end of Tom Brady's suspension, and then he just takes off the mask. And hell, the Patriots could be in on the joke. Like after the game, Patriots beat the Bills, and then the camera, like on the big screen, focuses on the fake Brady, and he takes his mask off, and the fans that are still there are like, "What? We've been sitting next to Wes Welker the whole time."
I see. I like how former players are mocking the NFL with their idiotic idea.
Yes, they think they could contain the Patriots. That's so cute. That's cute. I mean,
Really
they're going to get a loss. One loss, and Goodell's like, yeah, I'll teach Tom Brady to keep winning Super Bowls. I want other teams like the Packers or the Steelers to win.
Those poor Cleveland Browns.
Those poor Steelers. Man, it's been so long since they won a Super Bowl. 6 Super Bowls, that's not enough. Not at all. That's like if the Major League Baseball basically rigged every Yankees game so they'd win and get a World Series, because those poor Yankee fans, they deserve another trophy. How many? I'm looking it up right now. How many fucking World Series have the Yankees won?
I think it's in the upper 20s.
It is. I think it's 28.
28 or 29. I'm pretty sure it's 28 though. Might be
I think it's 28. I want to say it's 27.
Okay, 27. I thought it was somewhere in the upper 20s.
I was off by 1. I'm off by 1. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference. 27, 28. You think I give a shit? That's way too much.
It's almost like the Montreal Canadiens of hockey.
Don't they suck now?
Oh yeah, they suck.
So
But I mean,
they've had their time.
but the Canadiens have also like 20 Stanley Cups or something.
Yeah. So, but
25.
anyway, yes, those poor Pittsburgh Steelers and Packers, two faces of the NFL as teams. They both have, I think, six. I think the Packers have five. Yeah, and what's that? You think the Lions or the Texans or the Bills or teams that haven't won a Super Bowl, you think they should get one? Nah. I mean, unless they should bring us lots of money like the Panthers did last year. They don't give a shit for them.
The Detroit Lions. I bet you the ratings for a Lions Super Bowl will be very low.
I mean, unless there's like the Patriots on the other side.
Right?
Like, if you had a Browns Lions Super Bowl, I don't know if people would watch just because either they think it's a joke or they're legit surprised that both these teams actually make it.
Oh man.
That would be the day. Anyway.
I can't wait for the day.
Anyway, so back to Dallas. We strayed a long way off of that, which is fine.
Oh yeah.
We cut through the first two games pretty fast. Anyway, so that has been their biggest problem. They I know what you're saying, Bill, about Dez, but my counter is this: Antonio Brown, New Hopkins, Julio Jones, and even Odell Beckham could catch very well in the end zone. I mean, when we talk about Houston, just wait till I get mad at the refs there because they were stupid.
I feel like Dez Bryant is more of a spatial player rather than an in-traffic player.
He is not I don't think he's an end zone type of catch. I mean, that might sound stupid. It's like he's caught plenty. Yeah, he has, but either the refs screw him out of one or he just can't secure a damn ball for the life of him.
Right.
I mean, if I can go look back in the podcast we did back when the Cowboys were in the playoffs and that catch happened. Was it a catch? Was it in a catch? I thought it was a catch. Now that I look at it again today, after all this time, my emotions are past me. I don't think it was a catch because he reached out to get the end zone. If he just focused on securing the ball, that would have been a catch. I guarantee you. That guy did not have a chance to really knock it out of his hands because Dez did it for him.
Yep.
And I can tell if I said that to Cowboys fans, like, no, it's a catch. It's a catch. Like, just think about it. If he focused on securing the ball rather than try to reach out and be a hero, that's it. You know what I mean?
As a Detroit fan, I have no emotion because
I know you. I know, Bill, but
it was more of a you get what you get.
Well, remember, Bill, there's an NFL bias hierarchy. I mean, all the other teams, the Cowboys have priority over them. However, there are teams that have priority above the Cowboys. I know, hard to believe. Pittsburgh and Green Bay especially. Green Bay's at the top of that list. I mean, Jordy Nelson could trip in the middle of the field with no coverage, throw a flag, and there's a flag. There's 10 flags.
I mean, if you look at this week's Sunday night game, that just confirms the hierarchy.
Yeah, but a same player in another team could do it. Nothing. I mean, come on. No, they would actually get flagged because he's trying to get a flag.
Right.
He's a distraction. You need to eject him. Pay $20 million. I don't know. I'm straying farther from the topic, but my point is, the NFL does have a bias. It's clear as day. I mean, Packers fans can feel all glorious, but yeah, they've got a bias for you. I mean, I mean, don't believe me? Asked about the play before that Hail Mary in Detroit last year. His finger tapped the mask, and that was a face mask, and I'm pretty sure he got a fine for that too. I forget who was the player that did it.
Because God forbid that Aaron Rodgers.
You can't mess with his perfect face.
I mean, and then if my Lions player gets crawled at his knees, and that's totally perfectly fine.
Yeah, but anyway, Dez still went for 100 yards, but still no end zone. I don't think Dez is an end zone type of player. I mean, he could catch the ball and run for it. You know, if you can somehow give him enough space, sure, but I don't think he's the end zone guy anymore, unless he shows me otherwise. Because
Who's
honestly,
that?
the ones that look to do that better are Terrence Williams. Yeah, surprise. Assuming he knows where to go to catch the ball. And Beasley. Of course, Witten
Yep.
too. It's
Yep.
everyone else. But yeah. Anyway, defense for Dallas still bad. They got turnovers when it mattered. But to be fair, if Kirk Cousins was not playing like a dumb idiot, because honestly, now I'm starting to wonder, is he even going to get paid next year? He is not doing good at all. But
I
if
mean,
he played the way he did last year, I'm pretty sure Washington would have stole this one back.
oh yeah.
Because
He's-
there was
he's
a wide open Deshaun Jackson, and he didn't see it.
Yeah, and he was overthrowing a lot of people as well.
Yep, he overthrew Deshaun Jackson once or twice. Supposedly, Washington football players are getting mad about him, which, for their sake, that's been. I mean, it's bad enough you have what's his name, Jay Gruden. Is that the name of the coach for the Washington football team? Or is it, I think
Yeah,
there's
Jay
two Grudens, aren't there?
Yeah, Jay Gruden and John is his brother, who's in the booth.
Okay, yeah, so he's on the hot seat, and I'm pretty sure Kirk Cousins is already. Anyway, I don't know what else to say about this game. Dallas still worse defense until they get their pieces back, which even then I don't think they are. Statistically, they're well on their way to getting on there. I mean, if you don't think they are yet, just wait till after these next 2 weeks. These next 2 weeks, Dallas gets good games that they can win. These next 2 games, they could go 3-1 and have the hype train back, which it's gonna come crashing down. Enjoy it. Enjoy riding it because it's gonna come to a crashing halt at a station, like right away.
Right.
But anyway, let's move on to the game. This game was game of the week. I'm surprised not many people talked about it. It was probably the one I think most people, like Houston, I know for a fact they circled this game when they first saw the schedule. They circled this one. It's like, this is the game we got to win. I'll tell you why. Of course, it was the playoff thing. You get revenge for the 30-0 smackdown that happened in the playoffs, which the Texans did. It was ugly. I mean, look at the score, 19-12. It was ugly, but they got it done. But also, I said that the Chiefs are going to be like the one who win the AFC West. I still stand by that. I know one guy who's a big Kansas City guy. Like, he loves all the Kansas City sports teams. But he doesn't think they're going to make it. I think he's crazy. He's like, dude, have some faith in your team. These guys can go. I mean, they're the only ones in the AFC West that I think can compete with the Broncos.
Right.
And I'm confident they could take both games. I know they're going to get one. They're going to split. I know that. But they could take both games and just win the division. But not only that, this game was also crucial for the future. You might not be thinking, maybe I'm thinking too ahead of time, but the way things are looking, if things go about the way it's been going, Houston and Kansas City are going to be playoff teams, and they're going to face each other again at some point. Especially if Kansas City is a wild card team.
Right.
Because I have Houston being the 3rd seed, they'll probably play the Chiefs. And because
It's
the
very
Texans
possible.
win, or hell, maybe not, but if the Texans win, they're probably going to get a higher spot than the Chiefs in the seedings, as long as they A, have a better record, or tie, or B, tie the record. They'll have field. They'll have that home field advantage over the Chiefs, which they need. You don't want to go to Arrowhead. Bill, do you want to play in Arrowhead?
Nope.
Bill, okay, I'm going to give you a list of stadiums. Name me the hardest places to play at.
Okay.
I'm going to give you Arrowhead, the Clink, Lambeau, Pittsburgh, Heinz Field, I should say,
Right.
and Houston.
Arrowhead by a long shot.
Really? I don't know if you noticed, but Houston, at the end of the game, made it extremely hard for Kansas City. Kansas City felt like they were in Arrowhead as the opponent team. Because there was a point. The Chiefs were in end zone reach in the final minute of the game. It's like, we just need to get a touchdown. We can do an onside kick, get a field goal, tie the game. Okay? Sounds good. They're within the red zone. They're in the 20. What happens on second down? 2 false starts in a row because they can't silent count for the life of them. There's only one game they typically prepare for the silent count. That's at Denver.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
I'll put it this way, and the only reason why I said Kansas City easily is because the fan noise on that field stays trapped in that field.
It's not even a dome.
It rivals Seattle's
Clink.
Seattle Stadium, because here's the issue is, you know, the Kansas City Chiefs hold the Guinness World Record for loudest stadium, passing Seattle, the Seahawks Stadium. The loudest stadium in the world is Arrowhead.
Yeah.
And
well, here's the other factor. The Chiefs have some of the most loyal fan bases ever. They are the seventh. I think they are ranked 7 in loyal fan bases in the NFL. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Green Bay or Pittsburgh's number 1. Which, what do you expect? I'd be disappointed if either of them. I'd be disappointed and shocked if neither of them were top 3.
I mean, if Green Bay's not in the top 3, I mean, they literally, the citizens of that freaking city own that team. So I mean,
they live in it.
I think I would be loyal too.
Yeah. Anyway, this was an ugly game. In fact, Brock Osweiler did not look good at times. He threw 2 picks, which he did not need to throw. There was one where Marcus Peters got both of them, by the way. Marcus Peters is a good defensive back for the Chiefs.
Right.
But DeAndre Hopkins beat him, and honestly, but I think Brock Osweiler challenged him too much. He challenged Marcus Peters too much. But I still want to say DeAndre Hopkins beat him because he got 100 yards against him and a touchdown. So that's good. There should have been another one, which I'm going to get this randomly. There's 2 things I want to mention. I don't know if I could download Vines. If I can, I'm going to try it and see if I could show them on this video, if I remember.
Right.
Because I forgot to put the memes on the first week of Football Talks. I forgot to put that. If I remember now,
Right.
I'm gonna try to upload those pictures here on the video, like earlier on, and mention yeah, I forgot about that. Anyway,
Right.
so there's first this catch by a Chiefs player, which Bill and I discussed both of these before we recorded this. I mean, and
Right.
so if I'm showing it now, what you'll see is that here's how the rules go for the NFL. Which these rules are stupid, especially the last one, but the first 2 I could get behind. You secure the ball. I think he did. Because you don't need 5 seconds to secure the ball. Because sometimes refs will say, and apparently if you can't secure a ball in 5 seconds, if it's in his hands and it's apparently not secure, the refs need to go out and play football. That's all I can say about that. But he secured the ball and looked like about 2 seconds at best. He had it in his arms, and was he moving? Was he trying to move? Yes. He took 2 steps with it. He already had the ball, he already had his feet on the ground. He's well in bounds. He's in the middle of the field. He takes 2 steps, trying to, reach for the ground and not, reach for the ground. But Kareem Jackson's fast enough to knock the ball out of his hands, and it became a fumble. But they reviewed it, and it wasn't, apparently. Now,
Right.
Bill, I ask you this. Was that a catch and fumble? Or was that an incomplete pass? Was it a catch? That's my question. Was it a catch? That's our favorite. That's our new segment. Was it a catch? I need to make game show music for this, though.
Was it a catch? Yes.
It's a catch and fumble. So that's the
Yes.
rule. Why?
Because he caught the football, made a football move, and went forward, and then
Kareem Jackson knocked it out.
Correct.
By the way, Kareem Jackson was a monster this week. He got a fumble. He picked up a fumble. It would have been 2. He was disruptive. The secondary, I'm still a little worried about, more so at the safety position, which I know Bill Belichick's going to exploit our safeties. He can't do anything.
Right.
He can't do shit about our front 7, but our secondary, to me, is the weakness on the defense. That safety position of Andre Howell and A.J. Boye, they're too small. He's going to sick the big wide receivers on them.
Right.
But by the way, Bill, you want to know what happens if New England doesn't get a quarterback? If they don't sign one, you know who's going to be their backup?
Who?
Julian Edelman. I mean, if you want to get
That's
technical, Houston, if everything went wrong and they don't sign a quarterback, they kind of have one, Braxton Miller, but he's hurt. Braxton Miller has a hamstring injury. I don't know how severe it was. I don't think it was severe because he was standing on the field after the game just watching, so it didn't look like
Right.
he was in pain. He probably just strained it. He's probably
Right.
going to miss Thursday, but he should be back by next week, like the week after. Anyway, so now let's go to the other one, the other play. And this one is on the offensive side for Houston. It's a throw to the end zone. It looked like he secured it. I say he secured it because it did not leave his arms. Because apparently you can't catch a ball by the like your arms can't secure a ball. Apparently, I mean Hopkins has done it with his hands, with his hand in a helmet, and that counted. Gary Barnidge from the Cleveland Browns caught it with his legs, and that counted. If
Right.
legs can count, and I'm pretty sure if someone caught them with their feet, I mean that's insane. I would pay that guy money if he did it. But if someone could catch it with their legs or their feet, but they can't catch it with their arms, what's wrong with you? I'm showing the play, and Bill, I ask you this: is this a catch?
Right. Now this one, yes, it's flat out a catch
Why do you think so?
because literally nothing moved. Literally, he had full possession of that football
Before
going
he
down
went
to
out
the
of
ground.
bounds.
Correct.
According to the CBS guys, they're saying, "Oh, it was still moving." And was
How?
it still moving? And they said it was out of the chalk. Yes, this upper body was out of the chalk, but that didn't hit the ground first. His knees hit the ground. They noticed that. But they're saying there's not enough evidence to overturn this. What do you mean? That is the perfect angle. What do you want it like under him? Do you want the camera under him now? Should we have you know how to have a pylon cam? Should we have turf cams that are just randomly scattered across the field and hope to God a player doesn't break it when he falls?
Right. I mean, it's to the point where it's pretty stupid.
Yep. Anyway,
It's
so yes, I say it's a catch as well. It was a catch. It's pretty bad. Oh boy. I just don't know, Bill. I just don't know because this I mean, I'll take the win. I mean, a win makes everything better, but there were plenty of points that the Texans missed. The first drive, which ended in interception, I wish they ran it on first down. They should have ran it on first down. Because after they missed on first down, it was like, oh yeah, we're going to run it now. Of course the Chiefs are going to catch on to that. But
right. Yep.
the thing is, I know people were ready. Those J.J. Watt haters, because they prefer Von Miller or a Colts fan, they were like, "Oh yes, I can't wait to write on my article on my blog about J.J. Watt will never be the same guy. Piss off. He recovered a fumble, got 1.5 sacks. He's
Right.
not 100%, yeah, but 80% J.J. Watt is way better than your average defensive end."
Oh man.
Like,
Yep. I agree.
Okay, I'm trying to think of a good defensive end that, because it's gonna sound insulting, but I can't think of a good defensive end who's not great, top caliber. You would put this guy in the Pro Bowl every year because he deserves it. He's just that good. I'm trying to think of a player who's like that.
I won't lie.
I'm
I
gonna
don't pay
just
attention.
be conservative and pick DeMarcus Ware, which I feel bad for him. I love DeMarcus Ware. He broke his arm. He's gonna get surgery on it most likely.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't like that he's on the Broncos, but I still like him as a player because I miss
Oh,
him
yeah.
in Dallas. Because imagine if we still had him.
And he was a good guy too. He kept that.
But he
locker
got his
room
ring.
under control.
He got a ring that he deserved, so I'm not too upset. He got the ring.
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
yeah,
He's
But
He's
so yeah,
he's a definite Hall of
Demarcus
Famer.
Ware you can put in the Pro Bowl pretty much every year, but I think
Yep.
80% of J.J. Watt is as good as Demarcus Ware,
No,
and Watt's only going to
J.J.
get
Watt
better.
is. Yeah, J.J. Watt's only scary good right now. He could be like legendarily scary.
Okay, yes, but here's the thing. Yes, they have a short week. They're going to New England. However, after that, you've got the rest of the week off, and then you have next week to prepare for the Titans.
Oh,
That's
I want
great.
you to. I want those Houston Texans to stomp on them.
Yep,
Oh,
Bill.
I
Like,
want.
okay, here's the thing. Watt 1.5 sacks. The linebackers, the inside linebackers, Max Bullock and Bernardrick McKinney, got a sack each on Alex Smith. And I forget who else got a sack on him. There's somebody else I'm missing. Oh well. Anyway, Alex Smith got beat up all game. This defense, I mean, it wasn't even just Watt. That's the thing. I showed you a player earlier. Jadeveon Clowney pushed him out. It would have been a sack. I don't think they count it. Bill, if you get a sack on a play where there's a flag for the offense, do they still count that sack? Like, not.
As long as it's not accepted.
So
I'm
if it's
pretty
accepted, they don't record that. Yeah, he hit the quarterback. It doesn't even count quarterback hits. None of that.
I think, to be honest, I don't know the rule for that
Well,
to be counted or not.
well, Bill, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna search the site. I'm just gonna look up Jadeveon Clowney's stats. But
Right.
what he did,
But-
he did two things. One, he chased Alex Smith out of bounds beneath the line of scrimmage, so it would have counted as a sack. But that was a play where they got a holding call. So I mean, Bill O'Brien took the holding call. Sometimes with situations like that, like if you get a sack on a play, like say a loss of 3 yards, do you take the holding call and give them those first 3 downs back, assuming it's on a first down, or do you just go for, like, do you just decline it and just go like 2nd and 13? It's a real tough decision. Sometimes,
Yeah,
because there are times where I think, oh yeah, you should just decline it. But
Yep.
when they didn't decline it, they paid for it. So it's not. It's always. It's kind of a struggle.
yeah, oh yeah.
Let's see. I'm just gonna look up. I'm gonna look up Jadeveon Clowney and see his stats, because if he's got 2, because he had 1 in the last game, because he did the exact same thing to he did the exact same thing to what's the Jay Cutler, and they counted it.
Right.
No, they didn't count it. Yeah, he didn't get a sack in that one. So he technically has 2 if you ask me, but
Right.
there's another play. What he did was he went through pretty much 3 offensive linemen and got a running back behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 2 yards, 2 or 3 yards. He took both the left tackle and the left guard, pushed them away, got the right tackle from the other side somehow to get after him, and he still pushed him out of the way and got to the running back. He beat up 4 bodies in one play. So here's the thing. You've been people clamoring J.J. Watt's not at 100%. It's not that I'm saying it doesn't matter, but just look at the rest of the team. They're all making plays. Every position is doing something good. Safeties getting picks, cornerbacks denying big plays, inside and outside linebackers sacking the quarterback, stopping the run, and J.J. Watt just being J.J. Watt.
Right.
If the minute he hits 100% and they keep this shit going, maybe I'm hyping it a bit too much, but doesn't that just sound like a historically good
It
defense?
sounds pretty good.
I mean, because here's the thing. People already know. You don't need to tell any coach you should double cover against J.J. Watt. They know that. But what if I told them, hey, you might want to consider Jadeveon Clowney too? And it's like, oh no, that means we just have our center that's left.
Right.
And maybe the running back. But what if I told you Whitney Merciless is starting to get double coverage?
I mean, who do you double cover on there? And
You can't double cover all 3, because then all it would take is one inside linebacker,
I mean,
this is exactly what happened. They had a situation, it was a blitz, 3 of them against 5 linemen and a running back, and Bernardrick McKinney just ran straight for Alex Smith, and he couldn't do a damn thing.
I mean, The
sack.
Texans' defense is built to be great, and they have a bunch of great defensive linemen, and you know that.
This team is very well in depth and defense for sure.
Oh yeah.
This, like, by the way, the Texans have not allowed a touchdown for 6 quarters so far.
Right.
I mean, you could talk about your Broncos being great, but when's the last time they allowed a touchdown? Oh wait, they allowed 2 in the last game alone, right? What about before that? They allowed about 2 or 3 as well,
Something.
I think.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that should tell you something. I'm not saying the Broncos defense is garbage. No, it's not. It's still great. But I mean, if you're a team that's shutting out, you're just only letting them get field goals and not touchdowns. It's pretty good.
Right.
That's something to write home about. I like this defense, Bill. I think this will be the best defense we'll ever have. That's why it makes me feel imperative. It's like, if any year is the best chance at a year, it's now or next year.
Right.
After that, I think the Houston Super Bowl window is just going to slam shut. Because some of these players need to get paid, and I don't think Houston can pay them all, even with the cap rising in 2 years, I believe. So I'm afraid of that. But other than that, I love this defense. It's great. But on offense, Osweiler really needs to not throw forced throws.
Right.
Especially when it looks like you might not, like they might not intercept it. Marcus Peters still did.
Exactly.
Do not underestimate these top tier cornerbacks.
Oh, yeah.
They can make plays when you least expect. That's like throwing the ball like 3 yards away from Richard Sherman. He can just reach out and catch it. It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. Just don't. It's better to throw the ball like shorter, so it's still within that range, so you don't get intentional grounding, but to where they cannot catch it.
Exactly.
They just can't catch it. But Will Fuller, another 100-yard game. Bill, name me the last player in their rookie year that scored or that got 100 yards in their first 2 games ever.
No one.
We mentioned this guy once in one of the
Randy
games.
Moss?
Who? No.
Julio Jones.
This guy's still playing.
Who? I don't know.
Deshaun Jackson.
Oh.
I mean, people compare Will Fuller to Deshaun Jackson minus the injuries.
Right.
And by the way, he caught a bomb for the beginning of the game. A 53-yard pass. He jumbled it a bit, but if he just immediately secured the ball, he had 2 Chiefs players behind them, they wouldn't have caught him. He was slowing down to keep the ball secure, which was good for him.
Right.
But imagine if he just caught it. That would have been an easy 7 points. That would be a different game entirely.
Yeah, I mean,
what a way to deflate the Chiefs' hopes from the get-go than a rookie schooling 2 double coverage and just getting an easy touchdown.
I mean,
but also 3 turnovers on the Chiefs.
Oh yeah.
This defense, I love it, Bill. I've said it again. I said it earlier, but again, it's beautiful. This could be a top 3, if not number 1 defense.
Right. Yep.
Anyway, I think that's all I can say. I'm liking this Texans team this year. But Bill, I think speaking of the Texans, it is time for Week 3 picks.
Oh man! So here we go.
Now, if Chicago can win and beat the Eagles, which this video won't be edited until after, I think I might tie up with Bill, if not get a bit ahead of him. Because I got some upsets, Bill. Because remember, I told you the Rams, I mean, it was ugly, 9-3. That's some old school football. That's like the 85 Bears against the 2000 Ravens. That's the score you'll get.
I'm literally field goal fest.
Yeah, that's all you get, but the Rams did it. I also said the Chargers would spank the Jaguars because Phillip Rivers will dissect that defense.
Oh,
good stuff for me. I still got the Bills games wrong, which the Bills are in the hot seat. Well, everyone there is on the hot seat. But there will be no snow in Buffalo this winter because the hot seat is so hot. The snow that would be trying to fall down would just melt. It turns into rain.
Right. Oh man.
All right, Bill, start us off with Thursday night football.
Go. The Houston Texans at the New England Patriots.
Third string quarterback with Julian Edelman as the backup as of now. I like these odds. I am going with Houston to go 3-0.
And This game's so hard to pick. I don't.
Bill, should we just come back to this
I
later?
don't want to pick against the Patriots because I think Bill Belichick's going to uh, come up with a game plan for Brock Osweiler that's going to take away.
Yeah, but Bill, you
but
want me to tell you how Houston's gonna win this game?
I've got Houston as well.
Bill.
I cannot pick against that defense with Jacoby.
I'll be honest. After that game, if Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't injured, I would have picked the Patriots. I would have switched back to the Patriots because he looks almost as unstoppable as Tom Brady.
But I can't pick against the Texans defense with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. I just can't.
This defense, Bill, as things stand, I'm pretty sure they're the number one defense in this league for the first 2 weeks at least. We'll know by week 5 who's top dogs and everything in every category,
Exactly.
but Bill, I trust the Texans defense to win this game.
I would say I trust them to win the game as well.
All right, Bill, what you got next?
The Sunday games, the 1 o'clock games, the Arizona Cardinals at the Buffalo Bills.
Easy win for Arizona. I say Buffalo. I'm not saying they're going to go 1-16, but the end of the year is not going to be pretty. And when I say end of the year, I don't mean football season. I mean end of 2016. Like, it's going to be a red Christmas in Buffalo.
And I've also got the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals are going to stomp the Bills very badly.
You know how the Bills were all red
Yeah.
in that Thursday game? Their uniforms are going to turn all red with the blood. The Cardinals will bathe in blood today.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. All right, here
game.
we go. The Oakland Raiders at the Tennessee Titans.
The Titans, Bill. I don't know how they did that, but the Raiders need to bounce back. They're going to win this one. I think that the defense will be scorched by Derek Carr. It might become a shootout, maybe, but I would like to think Khalil Mack will sack Marcus Mariota 3 times.
The Titans are going to score 16 points, like that Lions game, and the Raiders are going to score 42. The Raiders, easy win.
I hope so.
Next up, also, if you don't realize, I'm going to pick against the Titans every week, so.
Fine by me. I'm okay with that.
Next up, the Washington football team at the New York.
You almost said it.
The New York Giants.
You were almost gonna say it, Bill. I'm gonna go with the Giants. I hate doing that, but I think the Giants defense will crush Kirk Cousins, and this team is gonna get more angry.
Giants offense is just way better than the
I can't believe Ted Cruz is back. I hate
football
it.
team's offense. So I got the Giants defeating the Washington football team. Next up, the
All right.
Cleveland Browns at the Miami Dolphins.
You know what sucks? One of these teams is not gonna be no win. I'm gonna have to go with Miami. I feel like Miami played a lot better in their last game than Cleveland. Cleveland, if they kept their momentum going, they would have stole that from Baltimore.
Right.
Now that would have been upset of the year right there, if you ask me.
Yeah. See, I've got the Dolphins easily handling the Browns. It's not looking good for Cleveland. It's not looking good.
Yeah, I mean they're this year's Ravens. Everything is going wrong.
Oh man, speaking of the Ravens, it's the Ravens at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Baltimore is unstoppable right now, and I gotta pick them. I had the Jaguars at the beginning of the year, but no, the Jaguars going 0-3. Life is well for me, Bill. The Jags are gonna go 0-3. The Colts are 0-2, and the Titans, I don't think they're gonna go past 6 wins.
Oh man.
It's good to be in the AFC South for me.
Oh, man.
I've got Baltimore.
I also have Baltimore. I think Dennis Pitta is going to score like 2 touchdowns on the Jaguars, get back in the end zone for his first time since 2014 or 2013, actually.
Talk about comeback player of the year. Actually, you know, there's another one, Mike Wallace. I thought he was going to be bad in Baltimore, but Joe Flacco finding ways to make him good.
Right. Next up, the Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers.
I'm sorry, Bill. I gotta be honest. 2-0, 1-1 doesn't make a difference. I have the Packers, especially after they lost to Minnesota. They're gonna want to punish somebody, and the Lions are unfortunately the first in line. I've got Green Bay.
Both defenses won't stop each other, but I've got the Lions. I gotta stay with my Lions. I'm gonna pick them till.
All right, Bill.
All right.
Hope you're right in this
Here we
case.
go. The Denver Broncos at the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay, this one's gonna be ugly. I think Vontaze Burfict comes back this week, but regardless, I'm gonna go with Cincinnati. It's gonna be a close, ugly game, but the first 2 weeks, Trevor Siemian was in the environment that he liked.
Right.
Next time he's on the road, and I don't think he'll be the same guy. The Cincinnati's gonna make him uncomfortable, and I just think that the Bengals are gonna take this one in overtime. It's gonna be close, but I just trust Andy Dalton a little more than Trevor Siemian.
I agree with your assessment. I'm going to pick the Bengals as well. I think Andy Dalton's going to have a big game against that defense, and no DeMarcus Ware is a big blow to that defense.
Oh yeah, I mean it's good for me because I don't think he's coming back anytime before the Texans play them on Monday night.
Right.
Probably he'll be back when the Patriots go to town.
And next up, the Minnesota Vikings at the Carolina Panthers.
Oh boy, if Teddy Bridgewater was here, I would have called this my game of the week because this one's too close to call with him there. And Adrian Peterson. They're both gone. And I've got to go with Carolina. Carolina could have blown that last one, but I just don't think they're going to do this. This will be a defensive slugfest, though. It's going to be like 15-12.
This is going to be a stomping with the Panthers just stomping on the Vikings. Their run game is going to be non-existent, and their pass game is non-existent with Sam Bradford at quarterback.
But, Bill, I said 12-15 is the score. Do you want to know why they have that ugly number? Both teams are going to get a safety on each other.
Oh, jeez. Oh, damn. All right, so next up, the Los Angeles Rams at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I had the Rams originally for this, but I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. I need Jameis Winston and Mike Evans to redeem themselves. The loss of what's his name? Doug Martin. If it's worse than I think it is, it's a ginormous loss, and that's going to ruin Tampa Bay's chances at a playoff because he's their Jenga piece. He is the key getting them in the playoffs, but I think Tampa Bay will do enough to get this done. This is going to go overtime too.
I also think Tampa Bay is unbeat Los Angeles. I think this is like you said, a very close game. Next up, the San Francisco 49ers at the Seattle Seahawks.
People are saying 49ers are frisky, but I mean they might be because a battered Seahawks team is worrisome. I don't doubt Russell Wilson, but I just know he's not at 100%. And I just think the 49ers are going to throw everything they got at him. Seattle's going to steal this one. They have to steal games now because their team is just in a real rut on offense. Defense, I think they're fine.
The Seattle Seahawks offense is god-awful, and I'm picking the 49ers to defeat the...
Oh, God.
Because that offense is exactly the worst thing right now with the Seahawks team. That defense...
The worst thing is that Russell Wilson can't run. That's what makes the Seattle offense the Seattle offense.
Yeah, Seattle is a shell of its former self, and the 49ers are going to beat them in Seattle.
You know how you say Russell Wilson will convert into like a Ben Roethlisberger type of player? It's like you're forcing him to play like that because Ben doesn't run.
Right.
But it's like he plays with a shackle attached to his leg, but he's fine because he doesn't move. He just throws.
Right.
But if you do the same thing to Russell Wilson, he is not the same guy. He is not ready for that yet, and that's bad.
He hasn't developed into that sort of quarterback yet.
Yeah, unfortunate, but yeah, I'm surprised we got this one split.
Next up, the New York Jets at the Kansas City Chiefs.
I think this one can be a toss-up, but I just think Fitzpatrick's going to blow it. Plus, Brandon Marshall's hurt. If you saw how he landed on his leg, it was ugly. But he should come back. He might come back because he did play the rest of that game after he got that weird landing. But I'm going to go with Kansas City. This one's also going to be a defensive slugfest.
I have the Jets easily handling the Chiefs.
I'm going to give you my final score, 2-4. 3 safeties.
Oh, jeez.
It's so defensive and it's so ugly.
I've got the Jets beat.
6 turnovers for the whole
I've
game.
got the Jets 31-14. I just.
You got the Jets?
Yeah, the Jets are going to beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs' defense is non-existent right now. Next.
I wouldn't say that.
First game pretty terrible against a high-flying Chargers offense, and the Jets have a very similar offense.
Yeah. Well, like I say, if the Chiefs weren't playing against that Texans defense, they would have put up points. And in the Texans stadium, because at Houston is a nightmare on offense, especially for silent count.
All right. So next up, the San Diego Chargers at the Indianapolis Colts.
I'm going with the Chargers once again. Phillip Rivers, no problem. He is like the polar opposite of Romo, but the only similarity is that both deserve a Super Bowl trophy for all the shit they've got to go through with bad teams. But unlike Romo, this guy is durable. You could hit him with the tank and he'll just walk it off.
Yep.
I think Phillip Rivers is going to take this one because this one's going to be a shootout. This one's going to probably have 40 points for both teams.
Oh, yeah. This is a definite shootout. I also agree. I have the San Diego Chargers defeating the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts defense is flat out bad. Just flat out. Next up,
Bad.
The Pittsburgh Steelers at the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm going with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh looks unstoppable right now, and they have an easy schedule. The NFC East for dinner. I mean, this is the Battle of Pennsylvania, but this is the worst time to do it. I've got Pittsburgh just schooling the rookie quarterback, and people's hype on Carson Wentz finally dropping down to normal.
Antonio Brown with 3 touchdown catches against the Eagles defense. I think this is a blowout in the making.
I think Big Ben will get a chance to rest.
I've got the Steelers. So
All right,
the
Bill,
Sunday
next game.
night game, the Chicago Bears at the Dallas Cowboys.
I have Dallas winning this one. These next 2 games for Dallas are easily winnable because these teams they are far from where they want to be. And Dallas is in that same position, but they've got Dez, they've got Jason Witten, they have Alfred Morris. I think because their offense is a lot more complete than the Bears is. The only good thing the Bears have going for them is their linebackers.
Yep.
And that's not enough to win the game.
And I also have Dallas defeating the Bears. The Bears just are not good on defense. Not saying that the Cowboys are great on defense, but, I mean, Jay Cutler's throwing the football.
By the way, Alfred Morris is scoring both touchdowns for the Cowboys. The rest of the points are field goals because they can't finish a drive.
Okay, so we both got the Cowboys. And the final game of the week, of this week, is the Monday night game, the Atlanta Falcons at the New Orleans Saints.
Is it me or have we been here last year? I could swear, like week 3, week 4, Falcons at Saints on a Monday night game. I swear they do it just because of that punt. You know which one I'm talking about, right? The blocked punt.
Right.
They have a statue of it too. That one. I swear they do it just for that. I'm gonna go with the Saints. This is gonna be a shootout as well. I'm calling 40-35.
And I've got
on here, but I'm going with the Saints.
I've got the Atlanta Falcons, and it's going to be a shootout, and whichever team holds the ball last is going to get the win, and that's going to be Atlanta.
All right, not bad. All right, Bill, we got Thursday
All
night
right.
for week 4 in case we're not around.
The week 4 Thursday night game is the Miami Dolphins at the Cincinnati Bengals.
This one, I think, is going to be a defensive slugfest, surprisingly. For after the Bengals do so well, I think they're gonna pull the Bengals and just lay an egg on offense. But I'm still gonna go with them. AJ Green is gonna wield the offense all by himself and have 3 touchdowns, where he just mows down all the Miami secondary.
Right. And I also have the Bengals. Andy Dalton and Jeremy Hill are done go off, and there we go.
All right, I think that'll do it then. Have anything else for you to say, Bill?
Not really.
All right then. I think that'll do it for this video. We will see you guys next week, week 4.